Crasher back with a new video, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our series where we take 5 Pokemon from each generation and give them a much needed buff. In today's episode, we are going to be traveling to the Johto region and taking a look at all of the Gen 2 Pokemon and select 5 Pokemon from Generation 2 that deserve a buff. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So the first Pokemon we are going to be examining is Leadeon. This is the Generation 2 Bug and Flying type Pokemon with the abilities Swarm, Early Bird, and Iron Fist as its hidden ability. And taking a look at the stats, we have ourselves the following: HP base 55, Attack base 35, Defense base 50, Special Attack base 55, Special Defense base 110, and Speed at base 85. Now this Pokemon has an amazing Movepool, but unfortunately its stats are what hold it back quite severely. Well, that's where your boy comes in to give this Pokemon a much needed boost. Let's do this. So when it comes to the buffed up version of Leadeon, I'm actually going to change its typing from Bug Flying to Bug and Fighting. This Pokemon can throw some hands and knows quite the amount of punching moves, so I am going to change it to Bug and Fighting. As for its abilities, I am actually going to leave them alone, as Swarm and Iron Fist are actually rather decent abilities, competitively speaking, and I guess Early Bird as well, seeing how it cuts the turns of it asleep in half. But now let's focus on the stats, and the stats definitely needed some work big time. The attack went from being base 35 to now being increased to base 85, the defense now at base 70 from base 50, and the special attack is also going to be buffed up to 85, and the speed, let's buff it up to a nice even 100. Now its Movepool as well is also going to get a bit of a facelift. Introducing Quiver Dance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving this Pokemon access to Quiver Dance, which allows for it to boost its special attack, special defense, and speed all by one stage. And we're also going to give it access to the likes of Shadow Ball, so that way it has some additional special type coverage. And additionally to its offenses, we are going to give it access to the move Close Combat, not only to complement its fighting typing, which is going to grant it stab, but also Close Combat is a rock solid move in general. So hopefully with these buffs, we will no longer have to worry about Leadeon being overlooked, as now it actually looks like it can do a thing or two in battle. Next up on the list at number 4 is going to be Quillfish. And I just got 2 words to sum up this Pokemon: missed opportunities. Game Freak, what the hell are you doing squandering your opportunities to make Quillfish great again? Well, that's why I gotta step in with this series and give Quillfish its due justice. So Quillfish, as it stands right now, is a water and poison type Pokemon with the abilities Poison Point, Swift Swim, and Intimidate as its hidden ability. And taking a look at the stats, we have ourselves the following: 65 base HP, 95 base attack, 85 base defense, 55 base special attack and special defense, and 85 base speed. So, yeah, these stats are very, very underwhelming for a standalone Pokemon. You really couldn't give this a Mega Evolution, or a Z-Move, or an Evolution in Generation 8? Game Freak, how could you? Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the new and improved Quillfish. Now, I decided to try something a little bit funky here, and that is retyping it from Water Poison to Steel and Poison, making this the first ever Pokemon to rock that typing. Now, yeah, sure, you would be 4 times weak to ground and have a 2 times weakness to fire, but think about the amount of resistances that Steel and Poison would have. My god, I'm loving this already. As for its abilities, I am actually going to swap out Swift Swim for Steel Worker, so that way this Pokemon will gain extra power in its Steel type moves. defense. And as for its stats, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buff up its HP to base 85, attack base 115, defense base 115, and special defense is going to get buffed up to base 85. Now, we're going to be dropping it down the speed, well, quite a bit actually, to base 55. So essentially swapping the points of special defense and speed around. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This Pokemon, while it may be much slower than before, this Pokemon is going to have a humongous buff in battle overall, not just with its retype, but also with its stats being reworked, making it more offensive and defensive too at the same time. Now, as for its moveset, we're going to grant it a few extra moves. Most notably, we're going to be giving it access to Swords Dance, so it has a way to boost its physical attack. And we're also going to give it the likes of Iron Defense to boost its physical defense by 2 stages. And let's throw Body Press in there, which works in conjunction with your physical defense. So the higher your physical defense, the higher damage output Body Press is going to have. And that is going to make this Pokemon even more of a monster in battle. See, Game Freak, I can buff up Pokemon, no problem. Why can't you? Let's move on, ladies and gents. Next up on the list at number 3, we have ourselves Aryados. Aryados. I absolutely cannot believe how blatantly shafted this Pokemon is. I absolutely cannot believe it. It is such a well-designed Pokemon as well, and that's pretty much all it has going for it. So let's get into this. So taking a look at Aryados, we have ourselves the following. It is that of Bug and Poison typing. Its abilities is Swarm, Insomnia, and Sniper as its hidden ability. As for its stats, we have ourselves 70 on the HP, defense, and special defense, 90 in the attack, 60 in the special attack, and 40 in the speed. You would think that with this being a spider-like Pokemon that it would be fast. No, its speed is trash. But I'm about to give this Pokemon the facelift it deserves. Let's do this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to actually retype this Pokemon from Bug Poison to Dark Poison. Now, I know what you're thinking, wait a second now, this is essentially going to turn into Drapion 2.0, and, well, let's be honest, you're kind of not wrong there, because, honestly, I think the Dark and Poison typing for Aryados could work almost as well as its Bug and Poison typing if we're talking about design aesthetics by itself. Now, as for its abilities, we're going to get rid of Insomnia and replace it with Merciless. So basically what this means is that if an opponent is poisoned, then the moves are always going to result in a critical hit. And as for reworking the stats, we're going to town on this one, Daddy, I'll tell you what. So we're going to actually chop down its HP just a little bit from base 70 to base 60, and we're going to juice up its attack from base 90 to base 125. We are going to take away 20 points from its special attack, and we are going to buff up its speed from 40 to 110. How is that for actually good stats for something like Aryados? Now, as for its moves, we have ourselves quite a few gifts right here. Number 1, we're going to give it access to Dragon Dance. That's right, ladies and gents. We're giving a non-draconic Pokemon access to Dragon Dance. What you gonna do about it? We have ourselves now the ability to boost its attack and speed by 1 stage apiece. We are also going to give it access to the likes of Knockoff, a really solid Dark-type move that will also remove your opponent's held items. And we're going to give it access to the Elemental Fangs as well. So that means it's going to have the likes of Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Fire Fang. So now that this Pokemon has the buffs it rightfully deserves, it seems like this Pokemon won't be forgotten about again, else it'll crawl on your face when you're sleeping at night. So next up on our list at number 2 is Giraffe Rig. This is a Pokemon that, like Quillfish, has a lot of missed opportunities. it didn't get a Mega, it didn't get a Z move, it didn't get a Gigantamax or an evolution, well, that's why it's here on the list, so that way your boy can buff it up so it is going to be better. So taking a look at Giraffe Rig real quick, it is a normal and psychic type Pokemon with the abilities Inner Focus, Early Bird, and Sap Sipper as its hidden ability. As for the stats, its HP is at base 70, attack base 80, defense base 65, as well as special defense being at 65, special attack at base 90, and speed at base 85. So, yeah, I mean, the stats are kind of at best, maybe slightly below average. Nothing really stands out about this Pokemon until it falls in my hands. Now, let's buff it up. So taking a look at the buffs, we have ourselves the following. We decided to leave it as a normal and psychic typing because that typing does fit it rather well. However, we are going to get rid of Early Bird and grant it access to Competitive. And Competitive is a damn good ability because if you were to have any stat drops by the fault of your opponent, well, Competitive kicks in and you will get a +2 special attack boost. So that will turn you into quite the competitive threat. As for its stats, we are going to buff up its special attack from base 90 to base 115, and the same thing for its speed. It's also going to get buffed up from 85 to base 115, and we are going to drop its physical attack from base 80 to base 60. And we are also going to buff up its defense from base 65 to base 85. So that way this Pokemon not only has more naturally good speed and special attack, but it also will have slightly buffed up physical defense as well. Now as for its moves, it actually has a very, very colorful move pool, so we are actually not going to be laying a finger on its move pool, as it is very deep and very, very good. And speaking of very, very good, I hope that with these buffs right here, the competitive scene will have the same opinion about Giraffe Rig, going from mediocre at best to being very, very good. And now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, at number 1, we have ourselves Furret. I don't think I need to say anything more about Furret other than the fact that it needs a buff. So let's get to work. So first off, taking a look at its typing, it is a pure normal with the following abilities: Runaway, Keen Eye, and Frisk as its hidden ability. And taking a look at the stats, we have ourselves HP at base 85, attack at base 76, defense at base 64, special attack at base 45, special defense at base 55, and speed at base 90. So yeah, you can tell that there's nothing really outstanding about this Pokemon in any way, shape, and form. Well, why don't we take a look at what it would be like with its buffs? And now, ladies and gents, introducing the new and improved Furret. So I actually decided to retype it from just a pure normal type to normal and fairy. I, for whatever reason, think that a fairy typing would be fitting on Furret. It just has that type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? As for its abilities, we are going to be getting rid of Runaway and Keen Eye in favor of Speed Boost and Guts. Speed Boost is an ability that boosts your speed stat by 1 stage at the end of every turn, whereas Guts will boost your physical attack if you are statused with a burn, paralysis, or poison. Frisk is a pretty good ability competitively speaking, but now at least it has more to choose from when it comes to actually good abilities. And as for its stats, oh, this is my favorite part, guys. So we are going to be buffing up its physical attack from base 76 to base 110, and its speed is going to go from base 90 to base 100, and we're also going to buff up its special attack from base 45 to base 95. So that way this Pokemon has the ability to not only be a better physical attacker, but can also be a decent special attacker as well, and with more speed to boot. As for its moves, we are going to give it access to the following new moves, that being Swords Dance, Nasty Plot, Play Rough, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, and Draining Kiss. So that way, not only it has a way to set up its offenses, but it also now has new fairy moves to complement its new fairy typing. And with that, this Pokemon isn't just going to be known as a Gen 2 rodent Pokemon. It is going to be a Gen 2 rodent Pokemon that packs massive bite in battle. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the conclusion here of the top 5 video. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, there are more than just 5 Johto Pokemon that deserve a buff. So I don't know if I'm going to include maybe a part 2 on this type of thing. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see a part 2 in regards to Johto Pokemon that deserve a buff. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you guys very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, and most importantly, guys, smash it up in the comments down below, because I love, love, love hearing from you guys. Always have, always will, that never gonna change, baby. You can believe that. Woo! So thank you guys again for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day or night, depending on your time zone. And as always, your boy will see you guys in the next one.